Hi, I'm Kesten Rono, and today is day 136 of A Course in Miracles. Again, thank you for your curiosity. Let's explore. Reviewing Principle 6. Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. Let it be because we do not see them does not mean they do not exist. Let's accept that love is ever present and abundant. And there is some way that we are seeing, that we are not noticing it all the time. May we be curious about what time is, what timelessness is, where love abides, and who is here to show it to us. The miracle is offering us an opportunity to understand forgiveness. And this atonement exists all the time. It is always here, as it is God's will, your will, to wake up to your own salvation, that there is no trade of sovereignty, no sacrifice needed to see, to feel truly, and possibly no words to describe it. So may you notice your present self, and may you accept that miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. Your life is miraculous. This is my Easter time, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of his reality. If I defend myself, I am attacked. But in defenselessness, I will be strong, and I will learn what my defenses hide. Aho. Lesson 136. Sickness is a defense against the truth. Sickness is a defense against the truth. If I defend myself, I am attacked. May you see sickness as a defense against the truth, an attack on the truth. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. Let's just repeat this. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. When this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. If I may arrogantly simplify this, you will find no ease in dis-ease. And if this law or idea is to be true, then ease of mind would be ease of body, as this is where you are experiencing your casting of mind. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if one were whole within itself. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if one were whole within itself. All there is requires all parts to be whole. It is simply an illusion to say that a single part is the whole. Your tire is not a car. Your door is not a house. Your body is not your mind. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are secret, magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them. In that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you would attempt to do, and then proceed to think that it is done. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? How true is this statement? What is your irrational fear? Mine can be heights, even though I dare test it. Just last week, I went to this coffee shop specifically to take their elevator in this large building to the ninth floor. Glass elevator, highest floor, opening up to a multi-floor lobby at the top. Everything looks like little figurines, and proportions and perspectives are distorted. And there is a little opening between the elevators with about 3 foot, 3 to 4 foot clear glass banister. And I admit, I feel the heights when I walk to the edge where I can see those metal beams. And I dared myself to look over. My hand was sweaty. And I know that I'm safe. And I know that the height itself is an illusion that doesn't really exist to threaten me at all. I know people afraid of spiders, loud noises, and maybe these don't threaten me at all. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. In that second, even less, in which choice is made, you recognize exactly what you attempt to do, and then proceed to think it is done. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce that threat that has been judged as real? If you're afraid of heights, you probably don't dare go to the edge of something. If you don't like spiders, you might stay inside. If you don't like loud noises, you might keep yourself from public spaces. You're deciding what's a threat to you, even if it feels unconscious, and you can't face it. All this cannot be done unconsciously, but afterwards, your plan requires that you must forget you made it, so it seems to be external to your own intent, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you, instead of one affected by yourself. This is the story we tell ourselves, and this is the one that leads us to believe that we need a savior outside of ourselves, that there's nothing we can do, that we're condemned to hell. And so we live in it, rather than recognizing that we are in charge of how we feel, and we can make decisions about our consciousness. And in this light, we live in heaven. You get to decide. I get to decide. Do you fundamentally see yourself as threatened? Sickness is a defense against the truth. If I defend myself, I am attacked. May we release and realize that we need not have fear of release itself. It is this quick forgetting of the parts you play in making your reality that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control. But what you have forgot can be remembered, given willingness to reconsider the decision which is doubly shielded by oblivion. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force, as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. Do you ever find yourself reacting exuberantly, angrily? I do. I love pointing out my own attack-based thoughts. In one moment, I might be exclaiming something, and then right after that sentence, laugh and say, that felt like an attack. And then my partner and I will laugh, and she'll agree. And then immediately we're back in the groove together. And she's explaining to me how she feels. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. When I believe that I must defend myself, I'm blinded by my own emotions. And the truth is, they are hilarious. It is hilarious to believe that I am threatened by having a conversation. And it is wonderful to notice. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. Let's repeat that. Every defense, no matter what it is that you think you are guarding against, whatever you are employing, believing that you are protecting yourself and assuming control, using the past to try to dictate what the present will be, the future. This is an idea that you do not want your story to change, even though you're using your past to brace for some kind of future which you didn't enjoy in the past. You're attempting to repeat something by voiding change in a changing world. This is the physical, after all. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. You only know so much. Me too. In the physical, we are using very limited information to try and understand an infinite amount of information into the future, not even knowing where it is that we will be at any one time. Where will you actually be? Here and now, always and always. It's just the way that it is. It is futile to believe that you can take a small amount of information and assume something for the whole. And it is wholeness that we are after. So in our defenses, we are breaking apart what we consider to be reality, shaping our own reality, and then demanding it must be true. And when we see something that goes against it, often our emotions come into play, and we might even double down on our defense, because next time we really have to be ready. If you notice this pattern for yourself, maybe you might wonder, how could you adapt to not needing to defend yourself in the future? What must you notice? How must you choose to feel? And what actions can you take if they cannot be based on the past and they cannot be in the future? What can you do now, here in the present, to feel resilient? Where is that for you? Especially if you have not been able to find it in the physical and you have not been able to secure it with any idea in the past. Perhaps you would like to stop this cycle and see it a different way. It is this process, taking fragments, calling them whole. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. When parts are wrested, W-R-E-S-T, wrested from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. We are assuming we know best with our sliver of information and time. How could we know best across the infinite? Sickness is a decision. It is not a thing that happens to you, quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay. When for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now you are sick, that truth may go away, and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? How do you imagine your dis-ease will create ease? How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Because it proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain you are made one with it. This is your true identity preserved, and the strange haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust, silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. I suppose pain can be useful in reflection, but living a life that feels pain and attempting to guard ourselves from it when we cannot be sure that we ever will is a joke, of course. May you see yourself as not only a body. Where could it be that you experience no pain? In what it is to be you, whatever that is like for you. Is it true that your perception, not what you are experiencing physically or emotionally based off of some trauma, but what it is to perceive, has that ever been painful? Perception itself. Perception is constant, consistent. You cannot turn it off. Kind of like being outside and not having earplugs. You're going to hear whatever's there. I challenge you to answer truthfully if what it is to notice has ever been painful, or has your experience been sometimes of pain, and has that pain caused you to guard against future pain? Do you really need to do this? Or is there a way of noticing whatever it is that you are that you can lean into that says, hey, from this view, I've never experienced pain in my life. Actually, what I am is totally painless. And I am just as young as I have ever been in experiencing as it is. When parts are wrested from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. Sickness is a decision. It is not a thing that happens to you, quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now you are sick, that truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Because it proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must be separate from truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain you are made one with it. Thus is your true identity preserved, and the strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust, silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you live, but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life, heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for the salvation of his Son opposed by a decision stronger than his will. His Son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. Such is your planning for your own defense, and you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defenses would impose on it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Who else can see them and react to them as if they were the truth? Your fears are yours. That's it. Someone else sees a spider or heights and says, no pasa nada. God knows not of your plans to change his will. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it, and heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change, and what is wholly sinless cannot sin. God knows not of your plans to change his will. Why? He's constant. You're dreaming. It's okay. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it. These illusions are your story. The universe is not changing for you, not the truth. And heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. How could it? You can but choose to think you died, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all this. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What cannot be attacked? I would imagine we would believe that anything can be attacked. How do you destroy the constant? It would be futile to even attack it. This, of course, is the truth. An unconditional love. It is not subject to attacks. It loves unconditionally. This is the state in which you are made consciously, if you choose to believe it. What is unalterable cannot change. That's just the truth. And what is wholly sinless cannot sin. These are your stories. Forgiveness is your tool to innocence. That's what forgiveness is. And if you forgive, and you know it, meaning that you receive it as you give it, then you are moving into a world that no longer requires forgiveness. You can check everything off the list. And when the list is complete, innocence is restored. What is that then? That is the state of you, of love. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might nor triumph. It does not command obedience, nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such its purpose is. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. Why? Because if God gives it, and he knows it, then he knows it is given. It is just a matter of time before you see it, and before I see it too. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now, as it must be. The thoughts, capital T, the thoughts of God are quite apart from time. For time is but another meaningless defense you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. Whatever it is that you are is always here. So whatever God has willed is always here. No matter what sub-level of dreaming you are in, it is not real. And if you believe that whatever it is that God has willed you, his love, is not there, well, that is just simply you looking somewhere else, diving deeper and deeper and deeper into story and illusion. So you can learn from myth about what the truth is. So you can learn the parable of whatever the nameless is. It is in you at all times because it has been given by the fact that you are timeless in creation. You are timeless in experience, and that will never change. Truth has a power far beyond defense, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter, and it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time. Today, if you will choose to practice giving, welcome to the truth. This is our aim today, and we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. Remember that outside of time, there's no time it takes for anything to be delivered. There is no space across which it must be distributed. It simply is. This breaks all laws of all of our physics and all of our ideas. It takes me time to drive from here to my next destination. Timelessness does not exist in space and time. So, if you are in space and time, and everything that we're discussing requires you to be in no space, no time, what is it that you must evaluate about yourself to explore this new arena? And how may you reconcile it coinciding with everything that you know now? I would imagine that if you could see both, you would notice both. But because we have been inside of a system that cannot accept ideas of timelessness or no space, well, where would you find your answer within that system about timelessness? Lucky for you, you are here. And I do mean here, now. And you may notice yourself. You may slip into timelessness in a meditation or a breathing exercise or a flow when running or through any other stimuli that could suddenly catch you off guard. That is the miracle, waking you up, offering you true life. This is seeing the truth, knowing innately, without words, feeling assuredly that you are both spirit and body, and letting each one do what they do so that you may notice yourself. This is our aim today, to notice truth found at any time. And we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and to let the truth be as it has always been. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am, and I let my mind be wholly healed today. Please repeat this. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am, and let my mind be wholly healed today. Again, please. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits with double purposes, insanely sought, remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. May it be so. Now is the body healed, because the source of sickness has been opened to relief, and you will recognize you practice well by this. The body should not feel at all. This is how we may know that we've practiced today. The body should not feel at all. If you have been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. Okay. No pleasure and no pain. This line, its usefulness remains. and nothing more, is living, I believe, in the mind's perspective and letting the body be what it is here for, a vessel of experience, that it can take care of itself and that it is meant to turn over in time. In time is not where you are, lest you be damned to time, and you will die with the body, and it would be justified for you to believe in justification of attacks and defenses. And you will have categories that don't count. This is worth defending. And I admit I'm there in some degree, and that is okay. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purpose you gave to it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. As these are laid aside, the purposes that you gave to the body, as these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. You always have everything you need. I suppose it's just a trope until we try it on. Do you believe that your body is serving you in its most truthful form? If you let it, and you might say, well, what if I fall down, get hurt, die? And I say, what if? The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. How will you know this is true? I suppose you will have to experience it, and so will I. Perhaps you do not realize that the idea of feeling nothing for the body. Let's go back. This is so important. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. So we are healing the mind and noticing something new about the body. Now the body is healed, and because the source of sickness has been opened to relief. So sickness, the source in the mind, heals the body. This is the idea here. If we are constantly addressing the body, then we are playing with the effects rather than the source. And you will recognize you practice well today by this. The body should not feel at all. If you have been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. Your mind need not perceive what the body's doing, its pain or pleasures. They can be, I suppose, compartmentalized, that the body is its own thing in time, and your mind need not be trapped inside of the body. This is the idea, again, that you would believe that you are consciousness in the body. And this would be the trick, to keep you in the body. And whatever it is that you are perceiving lives a life of worry, crushing defeat by inflationary money, being unable to afford a future, going hungry, being unable to feed your children, becoming injured, becoming non-productive in society. And again, this threat and cycle goes around and around and around. We treat ourselves poorly and fall for illusions of people selling us fake food, buying those things with fake money, and looking for a pill to heal us when there are core principles that your body loves, like rest and sunlight and food in the physical at minimum. And here, even those we would have to accept are playing with the effects. These are playing with illusions instead of the root cause. The root cause the book is suggesting, and then we might as well try it on if we're looking for perfect health and resilience from perspective in the body, is to heal the mind itself, to call in healing, to no longer subscribe to sickness, which is our choice. to feel unwell, even if we don't like hearing that idea. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purposes you gave it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Why? You are now living from your mind's perspective rather than from your body's perspective. I suppose it is as simple as that. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. So it would appear in here that there is some idea of defense by remaining present, of course. So not defending, but being aware, tuning into your awareness. This protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. Notice your watcher, that is you in the present moment, removed from the body by some degree, giving you an opportunity to realize that you are not this doer in a physical space, at least not only. What are you then? What is it to notice an observer? You observing yourself that you assumed you were before you noticed this observer in the present moment. It's preserved, your protection, this invulnerability of the body, by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. When you identify with the body, it is just so that as a body, you are again vulnerable and you will again justify making plans, defending yourself, or going on the offense. I have been wrestling with this, and I recognize that wrestling is not ease. So I'm aware that I'm new here, and I may not be doing it, quote unquote, right to see in truth. I feel challenged by saying, how am I to offer protection if I do not create it? And I suppose the answer is, it is already created. Would I dare live so presently and pursue my highest excitement, my enthusiasm for whatever it is that my mind calls to myself? That is, whatever I am spiritually, from wherever I am casting, this is the me that I ask for advice, as it has purview greater than time. And I say, please, I'm ready to listen. Tell me what is exciting now, and I will do that thing. And I trust, the more that I try this on, that this very vibrant and vital, life-giving action will be received by others, that they will notice their own vibrance. And this will cause an excitement that will continue to feed this same exact system. This is me investing my life savings in what it is to be here and now as best as I may know. And the closest I can tell you that is simply asking for help and trusting whatever intuition brings. And I assure you, this has not come easy to me. But that is the joke, of course. I am here for ease. So why do I make it so challenging all the time? The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. I ask you to consider how much of your entire life, your entire day, what you're doing right now for work, what you're prepping for the future, is categorized by attack thoughts. yielding to judgment, or making plans against uncertainties to come. I feel this in packing my clothes for a trip, or making sure that I have supplies if I get a flat tire on the road. Am I supposed to abandon these ideas? Or can they be what is exciting in the moment rather than me future tripping? I suppose there is a nuance there, that if I see myself here and now, I laugh, and that if I feel an intuition to pack, then I am provided for. A small story. My dog is not with me right now. She is with her BFF, a German Shepherd, being cared for by a wonderful family. When I packed her supplies, for whatever reason, I found this bottle of, let's just call it Second Skin, a gel for cuts. And I included it. I didn't know where it was. I'd forgotten all about it. It's something I purchased when she had been bit in the past. So I packed it with the food and other supplies. And this wasn't an extensive list. In fact, this is the only ointment or whatever that I supplied. I think I put brushes in there just to be kind if she wanted to be cleaned. This morning, I received a message that at the park, normal play, that she had stepped on perhaps glass, and she bled quite a bit, cut between her paws, between the pads in her paws. And a friend picked her up and brought her to the car, and she was taken home, and they cleaned the wound, and they applied this ointment. Yes, it was in the bag. I wasn't sure, but I thought it might have been, so I told them, and it was, and now it's on her foot. And once I was told that she had possibly cut her foot on glass, I have chills now. I remembered that yesterday or last night dreaming, I picked up her paw and pulled out a piece of glass. Did I prep all these things in panic? No. I turn over my heart to this family caring for my dog. Thank you so much. The truth is, I don't know if I get to see her again, and I miss her regularly, each day and each night. It is not the same without her. But I am receiving messages of the love that this family is feeling, that my dog pours out, even though sometimes she's a go-getter. And the truth is, she shook off the pain and she still wants to play and show this excitement and love. This has been one of the best mirrors for me, and I am extremely grateful. And I send it to the wind. I could continue to keep my mind plagued with heavy thoughts, concerns for her, and they would have just come true. She is bleeding and injured. Oh no, I have to get home quickly. Somehow, in some way, perhaps, I knew this was coming. And I didn't prepare for it, but in some way I was prepared. You can explain it to me if you want, but I do not care about an explanation. It is what it is. And I accept and laugh at the serendipity of all of the clues where I was just doing what was there. Trust me, I feel plenty silly and mindless. And I feel silly explaining this too. But it doesn't change the fact that it is. And I am provided for. And she is provided for. And if you've been following these videos, you know that I put down a cat this year. What a surprise that was. I have a 15-and-a-half-year-old cat, and I buried my 4-year-old cat. I saw him in my mind again yesterday. I relived this moment, and I thought to myself, is being haunted really what I'm here for? To see his last moments alive? Or is there another way that we're still connected, because whether I like it or not, my cat is here now, and I literally just called upon him. I said, if you have any wisdom or guidance, please, you're welcome to show up. And there he was. Let it be, if you want, or attack the idea if you want. Nonetheless, I was here again with my cat right before passing, in all of my sorrow, to feel it and to let it go, and to notice what was there instead in my open curiosity. And I felt love. This protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. Give instant remedy should this occur by not allowing your defensiveness to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed, but tell yourself, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack, so I cannot be sick. You have forgotten what you really are, a mind, for you mistook your body for yourself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but you are not a body, and your mind cannot attack, so you cannot be sick. Please today, a quarter of an hour twice, 2 15-minute sessions to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. So, we're going to offer this healing prayer. Set aside our defensiveness and let truth be here as it simply is. You do not need to create it. You do not need to understand it, but you may admit that it is here, for whatever is constant would be here now, constantly, even amidst the change. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Thank you for listening. I am Kesten Rono, and I am interested in the truth above all else. I'll see you tomorrow.